Well, for more, let's turn to our Rome correspondent, Seema Gupta. Seema, this is for viewers to understand this story. And before I ask you about the latest, the different perception there are, whether you're on one side of the Alps or the other, of the so-called years of lead in the 1970s that included the kidnapping and murder of a prime minister.
Exactly. I mean, just to understand, this has really been a thorny issue in terms of ties between Italy and France. For the Italians, these 10 individuals were responsible for committing very serious crimes, crimes of terrorism, crimes including killing security personnel, kidnapping judges. They were part of these years of lead, as they were called. Was a period of social turmoil, of political violence, here in Italy, both by the far right and the far left, between the late 60s and the late 80s. And it was a time of real violence. And these 10 individuals were found guilty for their crimes. They were convicted, but they took refuge in France. And as you mentioned, it was part of that doctrine, that Mitterrand doctrine, that said that as long as they gave up that armed struggle and there was no evidence that they committed crimes of blood, they could stay there. Now, the Italian authorities always challenged this issue, and it was considered a success when these individuals were arrested back in April 2021. But then a judge said that they could not be extradited in June of 2022. And now the highest court in France has confirmed that that extradition will not happen.
Yeah, so it's all over effectively?
It's all over effectively, but, you know, in terms of, we've seen some strong reaction, not just by the Deputy Prime Minister, but also by the Justice Minister, who said that these thoughts right now, emotional thoughts, are really with the victims of the families who suffered at the hands of these terrorists, the families who want justice. And we've been hearing some very emotional reactions from these family members, people who lost their fathers, lost their husbands, lost their family members as a result of the actions of these individuals. For instance, the journalist Mario Calabrese, now he also happens to be the son of a police chief that was gunned down by these leftist terrorists back in 1972. And he said it was an illusion to expect this court to judge any differently. But as far as his personal opinion is concerned, he says seeing these people go to prison after decades is really makes no longer any sense to him. But he said he found it annoying and hypocritical that the French court said that these people had built stable families over years living in France, and that it would be a disproportionate damage to their rights of having a family and of a private life. He said, what about the disproportionate damage to the families that lost their husbands and their fathers? He said that he felt that there was never a word of repentance from these individuals. Other family members said that they were shocked, they were angry, these people are wretches, there's no justice in this, and they want the judges to say who are to blame then for the loss of their family, of their loved ones. They say these people have death on their conscience. Another survivor of this violence said that the court perhaps did the right thing. This happened more than 47 years ago, but they want the truth, and these people can help in understanding what exactly happened during those years of turmoil in Italy.
Seema Gupta reporting live from Rome. Many thanks for that update.